Happy 4th of July. Like we said a couple weeks ago, we were going to bring you a surprise episode here. This is it. Let the fireworks explode.
Hey, let the fireworks explode.
Because Elijah's going to explode.
Oh,
today.
yes. Let's talk about right now about
real quick
what's going on.
1 second. So we are going to get into that.
Okay.
One second. Everyone's going to have a happy 4th. Hopefully everyone has a good weekend. Stay safe, people.
And It's raining over here. So
definitely be safe. If you're in the area,
I don't know we're going to have a fireworks.
Possibly not. Probably not.
But they did yesterday.
Well, that's all that matters then because it was nice out
Well, happy 4th of July.
So just
it's
make sure
about
you stay
independence in our beautiful nation.
Absolutely.
So let the fireworks start.
Yep, here we go. So
about what's going on in baseball right now.
We have decided that this episode is going to be strictly looking up what we believe is the worst GM in baseball as of right now. Elijah, why don't you kick us off with your pick for your worst GM, and this is from 2017 and on.
The worst GM that I have right now is to my team, the New York Yankees, Brian Cashman. Let me tell you something right now, Brian Cashman. I don't know why you resign back to the Yankees when you make these horrible trades since 2017. So I did the research about after the Astros eliminate the Yankees in 2017. You know, it was a close series, was 7 games.
Correct. We're looking at the transactions together right now.
So before 2017, let's talk about that trade for Justin Verlander. Let me tell you, it was a close deal to go to the New York Yankees, and the excuse was we had to get some flexibility of payroll. And what happened?
At the end of the year,
Justin Verlander just crushed the Yankees. So that's one of the things they did. Then there's a possibility of Garrett Cole traded from the Pirates to the Yankees.
Where'd he end up?
He ended up in Houston Astros.
What'd he do?
The Pirates asked for Gleyber Torres for the beginning. So that was at
the time, a high
pick.
At the time. Yeah.
So the Pirates said, okay, so what we need right now, okay, let's lower this down. Can I have Clint Frazier?
Which you got from Cleveland, one of our top prospects.
We traded for Andrew Miller.
Yep, that was back then.
And then Clint Frazier, I think Sheffield was the other one.
Justin
Sheffield. But Clint Frazier, the Pirates were asking for Clint Frazier's and some picks, some prospects.
Yeah, I got it right here. So Cleveland received Andrew Miller in 2016 at the trade deadline, and that was for Clint Frazier, Justice Sheffield, Ben Heller, and PJ Ferracine. Also, right before that, a couple days prior, you guys also got Gleyber Torres, Adam Warren, Bill McKinney, and Rashard Crawford for Aroldis Chapman. By the way, both those teams ended up in the World Series that year.
And then they asked for Clint Frazier. Where's Clint Frazier right now?
Where is he at actually?
I think he got.
No, he's with the team right now.
With the Cubs, I think, or no, I'm sorry.
I'll look it up.
My apologies.
Keep going with it.
But anyway, it was they asking for Clint Frazier. They want Clint Frazier and his own prospects. And you know what happened?
What was that?
Garrett Cole ended up to the Houston Astros.
Real quick, Clint Frazier is currently a right fielder for the Chicago White Sox.
Okay, so he ended up, from the Yankees release him. They release him. He signed with the Cubs. The Cubs release him, and then he ended up, I think, Chicago White Sox.
That's correct.
But let me tell you something. At that time, Brian Cashman was saying this. This is the excuse that he said. We didn't make the trade for Garrett Cole because of the Giancarlo Stanton trade. There was some flexibility on the payroll. You know what happened the following year? Well, the year, 2019, because in 2018, the Red Sox beat them, the Houston Astros and the ALCS.
Yeah.
2019, Garrett Cole demolished the Yankees. And he was a Cy Young candidate. Well, Justin Verlander won that year, the Cy Young.
Yeah.
But look at the stats. He didn't lose from May 19 of 2019 until the playoffs, the World Series.
Crazy.
So for that trade, Clint Frazier, Garrett Cole will be a star with the Yankees, and maybe you can reach the World Series. So you miss Justin Verlander and Garrett Cole trade. So you trade Giancarlo Stanton to the Yankees. when you have the 2017 great players in the playoffs, the following year, what happened? The Red Sox demolished the Yankees in the freaking first round because of the freaking offense collapse.
Well, you bring that up. Why don't we look at a couple trades that have happened since 2017? So obviously, you just talked about the Giancarlo Stanton trade.
Yeah, because
right?
the effect of the all
right.
the stuff.
Well, all that stuff led up to the Giancarlo Stanton trade. So in 2017, they got Giancarlo Stanton. They gave up Brent Cooper and another player.
Starling Castro.
Yeah, but the thing is looking back at. I'm sorry. So looking back at that, you do have some players there that have been really good for the Marlins now this year. Giancarlo Stanton has continued to be hurt. And looking back at that when the trade happened, it was like, wow, we got a power bat. And then 2 years later, he's hurt every single freaking year. He cannot stay healthy. He cannot.
There's another one.
Hit me with
Joey Gallo. Joey freaking Gallo. Joey Gallo. They knew they have a strikeout rate high in Texas Rangers. Do you know the trade? Duran from the Yankees traded to the Texas Rangers. Can you check the stats for Duran right now? Duran is doing a good job right now so far with Texas Rangers. Was a possibility can reach the All-Star, but he's doing a good job so far.
He's batting .214 in Texas in 65 games. He's currently 14 doubles, 1 triple, 12 home runs, 34 RBIs, 10 walks. Yeah, he's doing pretty good.
So Joey Gallo, where he at right now?
Joey Gallo is with the Twins.
Twins.
And he's doing good too.
So right when he was with the Yankees, he was not doing good. By the way, they made a good trade offer, Joey Gallo to Texas Rangers. So Texas Rangers have, I think, 4 picks or something like that.
Correction, Gallo was doing good. He's batting 195 again.
Oh my god. So this is the Brian Cashman trade so far. Right now, let's talk about the last year. Frankie Montas with the trade for the Athletics. Yankees trade, I think, 4 picks. Oh, including Trevino. Trevino was a closer for the A's. Frankie Montas. Brian Cashman, you knew that he had a shoulder issue. You knew that you have a shoulder issue before that trade. And you still made that freaking trade. And right now, both Frankie Montas out of the year and Trevino got Tommy John surgery. You trade JP Sears to the Athletics, and I think 3 other prospects that you trade over to the Athletics. So you lost that trade once again. But you running your mouth every single time that we need pitching. No, you don't. You don't need pitching.
The exact trade that you're talking about is Frankie Montas, Luis Trevino to the Yankees for J.P. Spears, Ken Waldichuk, Luis Medina, and Cooper Bowman. And all 4 of those guys are currently with the team.
Exactly. So that's what I'm saying. So that's a horrible trade. So I'm talking about the 4 horrible trade. Giancarlo Stanton, Joey Gallo, Frankie Montas, and Lou Trevino so far. So I don't know what to expect for this team. You need freaking offense. And right now, there's the other thing. Back in the 2021, was Bryce Harper was a free agent?
Yes. Same year Machado was.
So you're just talking about, we cannot. You don't have the audacity to at least talk to him. Bryce Harper was a Yankees fan. You should could talk to him or something like that. He was waiting for a talk with the Yankees. But right now, because you trade for Giancarlo Stanton, you miss the Bryce Harper signing. So this is what the horrible Brian Cashman is. And right now, they resign him once again. What the Yankees doing this year? The offense is one of the worst. In June, the run per game was 24. Almost in the last 24. And then the OPS is last. And team average is last in the month of June.
I'm looking at a couple more trades that they have right now. This is back in 2021. So this would be 2 trades with the Giants. Actually, April 11th, they traded away Estrada. Yep. Estrada has been killing it for them. And you guys got cash consideration, something the Yankees don't need.
But we have Wandy Peralta. And Wandy Peralta is doing a good job of the ball.
That's another trade. That's another trade.
I apologize.
Nope, you just got cash consideration for Estrada. That was on April 11th.
I'm sorry about that.
You're good. June 1st, Yankees got Wandy Peralta and Connor Cannon for Mike Tauchman. Tauchman is not that. I'd say that's kind of a fair trade.
That was a good trade.
Tauchman is doing good for the Giants right now.
That was a good trade because Wandy Peralta is one of the setup man, or it could be a closer. So
right, and you guys have not just made nothing but bad trades. You guys have made some good trades, some good additions. But when you look at what you've made good versus what you've done bad, Brian Cashman is not.
No, it doesn't fit.
And there's something I've always told you. You always talk about it every year that, I think it might be time to let Brian Cashman go. You're not saying let him go or fire him. You're saying it might be time. You always look at this and you look back, and we talk about this every year, not on the podcast. We just started this year. I always tell you the same thing. You cannot have Chris Antonetti or Mike Chernoff from the Cleveland Indians. You can't have it. Can't have it. Can't have them. Can't have them.
But there's something good about other GMs. Look at Tampa Bay Rays GM.
Oh, I know. He's
one of the best GM. Let me tell you. I think he's one of the best GM right now in the league. And we're not talking about this year. We talk about years back. Since 2019. This team, with all the injuries they had last year, Tampa Bay, because they went to the playoffs, but they went to the wild card. And they could be in the first place if it wasn't for those injuries they have. But look at right now. This team is stud. And it's because of the fact they moved the pieces the right way. They made the trades. For Detroit Tigers, I don't know what's the name of that player, but they made a good trade so far. And look at what they're doing right now.
Yeah.
They're doing a good job. And it's not because salary. It's because they made the right pieces. But right now, Yankees, you got the worst offense in the league. And the reason why you guys are winning is because of pitching. That's it.
So, anything else you want to add on the Yankees before I get to my team?
Hall Steinbrenner, you get your shit together. There's no reason to be acting. Oh, the fans, you need to be patient. Patient for what? But because of it's June or right now it's July. But you told the fans to be patient. We've been patient for freaking since 2018. 5 years ago. We've been patient. And looking right now, he's saying, be patient. Fire Brian Cashman right now. Or during the offseason.
I'll be honest with you. You're saying that you've been patient since 2018. There are teams that have waited a lot longer.
I know. I get it. I'm just saying a championship contender.
You guys have been a championship contender.
My apologies because Cleveland, you guys been waiting since 1948.
The Cubs were waiting until 1908. They finally got one.
Yeah.
Who else has been waiting for a long time?
San Diego, too.
White Sox haven't had one since 2002.
2005.
I'm sorry, 2005. They won in 2002, though, as well.
No. It was Arizona Diamondbacks. 2002.
They won.
No, 2001. 2002 was Anaheim Angels. I'm sorry. But San Diego Padres is another team, too. They've been waiting for.
Yeah, and I'm glad you brought them up because they're my team on what the hell they've done. Because I can't wrap my hand around it. I mean, looking back, like you said, we're looking back at 2017. They didn't make too many bad moves in 2017. I'm going to give them that. 2018, though, this is where it starts to go downhill. April 6th of 2018, they gave up Emmanuel Clase to the Texas Rangers for Brent Nicholas.
Brent Nicholas.
Yep.
Where he's at right now?
Probably not on a team.
Because I don't hear about him.
He has not been on a team since the White Sox in 2019.
And where's Emmanuel Clase right now?
In Cleveland. He has been struggling lately, but he was an all-star last year.
But it was a good trade.
Yeah, he's got good trades right now. But yeah, that was one thing right there. You gave up Clase for Brett Nichols. Then you gave up Brad Hand and Adam Simber for Francisco Mejia. Mejia hasn't done anything for you guys. So then a couple years later, you ended up trading him to Tampa Bay. Now he's killing it in Tampa Bay.
Exactly.
And he was one of Cleveland's top prospects. But you gave up a closer and a relief pitcher.
That's crazy.
And now Brad Hand has been struggling and Simber has been struggling. But, at the time, it was not a good move for them. Looking a little bit forward, now you got 2019. I mean, couple good trades here, nothing major.
Wow.
Nothing major. Oh, but here it is. July 30th. This is the Cleveland sweepstakes.
Yep. Trevor Bauer?
Trevor Bauer goes to Cincinnati in this deal. Cincinnati just sent Taylor Trammell to San Diego. That's it.
Uh-huh.
Here's who San Diego gave up to go to Cleveland. Logan Allen.
This is a reliever.
Franmil Reyes. And Victor Nova. Cincinnati gave up Scott Moss and Yasiel Puig. So, Logan Allen is already in the majors. Franmil Reyes he's gone now. He did good for us for a couple of years, and then he's gone. He's pretty much out the league at this point. And they got some prospects coming up. So they got Trammell, who I don't even think is on their roster anymore.
Wow.
Or if he is, he's in the minors still. Excuse me. Nothing major there the rest of the way. I mean, they got Tommy Pham and Jay Cronenworth. That was a good trade for them. That was a good trade for them. They only had to give up player to be named later, Hunter Renfroe, and Xavier Edwards. Fast forward to 2020, looking at some of these.
Oh,
this is where it gets tricky if you're a Padres fan. You gave up Manuel Margot and Logan Driscoll, both on the Rays right now.
Rays, yeah.
And guess who they got in return? Emmanuel Pagan. Where's Emmanuel Pagan right now?
Nowhere to be found.
Yeah, exactly. So that's a bad trade right there in 2020. Continuing on from there, they got Yonder Alonso from the Braves for cash consideration. That's not bad. They did need a first baseman. This is right before they got Hosmer, excuse me. And then this is one that blows my mind. You gave up Taylor Trammell, Ty France, Luis Turin,
Ty France is good.
and Andres Munoz. Munoz for Austin Nola, who's no longer on the team.
No.
Austin Adams,
I think, or no.
I believe so.
Yeah.
No, that's you're thinking of Aaron Nola.
Okay, okay.
Yeah. Austin Nola's his brother though, but yeah, he's no longer on the team. David Adavila and Austin Adams. I believe Adams is still on their team.
But I think that was a horrible trade because France is killing in Seattle.
So is Trammell.
Trammell,
France, and then you have Munzo or Munez. Andres Munez. That's another guy right there. Another trade they made with the Mariners at the end was they gave up Matt Brash for Taylor Williams. Taylor Williams ain't been doing much for them. Matt Brash is doing good. This is the Cleveland Sweepstakes 2.0. Cleveland gave the Padres Mike Clevenger.
Mm-hmm. I remember that one.
Greg Allen and Matt Waldron, who was a player to be named later. Cleveland has three of these guys are already currently on the team. They got Josh Naylor, Cal Quantrill, Gabriel Arias, Austin Hedges, who is now with the Pirates.
With the Pirates, yeah.
Joey Cantillo, who is one of the top-tier pitching prospects for Cleveland now. By the way, they've called up 3 pitching prospects this year. 4, excuse me. He's the last major one in AAA. I guarantee after the All-Star break, he might get a call-up, if not, next year. And then Owen Miller, who has been killing it for the Brewers.
I don't know.
Look at this talent that you have just given away. And then you look at the next trade in the offseason. This was in November 9th, by the way. But in the offseason, December 29th, Luis Pinedo, excuse me, Francisco Mejia, Blake Hunt, and Cole Wilcox. Wilcox has been doing good for them. They got Blake Snell in return. What's Blake Snell been doing? Yeah, exactly. Exactly. That's just terrible. Now, this was a good trade for them. They did get you Darvish, Victor Caratini.
With the Texas Rangers?
No, it was the Cubs deal.
The Cubs, I'm sorry.
Yep. They gave up Santana, Cassie, Mania, Preciado, and Davies. That was in 2020. That was during COVID year. 2021. Looking at some of these. Not too many bad ones. They did have a 3-team trade. They did give away a couple prospects. They got Joe Musgrove. That was a good trade. I'll give them that. That was a good trade. So far, we have about 2 good trades and probably around 5 or 6 bad ones. Because they've given up way too many prospects. Yeah. Now, I will say the one that
and it was one of the top. San Diego was one of the top trade farm system, remember?
And they gave everything away. And now look at what they're doing now. I will say, going back a little bit farther, the one trade that you can say they absolutely killed was when they got Fernando Tatis.
Oh, yeah.
When
the Chicago White Sox Shields?
Yep, they gave up James Shields, who did not do anything with his career after that.
Yeah, that was a good trade.
You guys gave up Luke Voigt for Justin Lang in 2022. Luke Voigt was doing good in their team for a little bit, and then he fell off. Yeah. So, kind of worked out in your favor.
Little bit.
Yeah. They turned around and traded Victor Caratini to the Brewers not too far after that. Then they got Taylor Rogers and Brent Rooker from Minnesota for Chris Paddock, Emmanuel Pagan, and Brian Medina. Paddock did good for the Twins, and Pagan did good for the Twins.
So I forgot to mention about this stupid trade. The Josh Donaldson, IKF, Urshela, and Gary Sanchez trade after the lockout was lifted in 2022. Was it 2022? Yeah.
Yeah.
So Gary Sanchez have one more year of the contract. One more. $8 million.
Yeah.
Josh Donaldson, he gets $25 million per year.
Massive money.
Mm-hmm. And you trade Gary Sanchez for 1 year and collect 2 years of Josh Donaldson, $50 million. Plus, you gave up Urshela. Get IKF because you need a shortstop.
And Urshela's been killing it for
And by the way,
Angels
Brian
before he got
Cashman
hurt.
told Urshela 2 days before that trade,
He wouldn't be traded.
you won't be traded. You'll be our shortstop. And you trade Urshela for Josh Donaldson, IKF, and a catcher, I forgot his name, Ben Rotherburn, something like that.
Okay.
And you can save that money, maybe non-tender Gary Sanchez. Save that money. Carlos Correa signed with the Twins for 1 year deal. That's what Carlos Correa was looking for because he got a new agent with Scott Boras.
Yep.
For Scott Boras.
I remember that.
And so you just gave up the Twins the fact for that year to save $33 million. So they only spent $2 million more because, of the Gary Sanchez or whatever, because the Yankees helped them somehow. You can leave on non-tender if you don't, because they they trade for Trevino for the Rangers.
Yep.
So after that, I don't know what the hell you do that Brian Cashman for. Right now, Josh Donaldson is worse than Urshela. IKF last year made the most errors of the shortstop.
He was worse than Urshela before Urshela got hurt.
Yeah. And then the catcher of the Minnesota was hurt. So that was one of the worst trade. Because Josh Donaldson right now, I know he did a good job in the Athletics series, but, he was playing with the Athletics before he knew about, but I don't think he's worth it for that trade for Gary Sanchez and Urshela. So, I don't know. You should sign Carlos Correa for 1 year. If that's the case, you will save 25 plus 8, that's $33 million.
He ain't gonna sign for 1 year though.
The Carlos Correa wanted to sign a 1 year deal because of Scott Boras. Scott Boras asking, sign 1 year and one player option deal the following. That was like a 2 year deal, but you can do like a player option.
Okay.
So the Yankees will spend only $2 million more for signing Carlos Correa for 1 year. So I'm just saying that trade for Josh Donaldson, and even all the league saying right now, that was one of the worst trade. I don't know if you agree with me or not.
I mean, I can, but I also can at the same time. Like I said, look at where Urshela's at right now. He's hurt. Gary Sanchez is killing it for the Padres now. I mean, it's crazy. It takes a couple of years to find out if these trades actually work. And looking back at it now, it's like you can kind of see both sides on where it was at. I get where your perspective is for a Yankee fan. That makes sense, but
well, Josh Donaldson was not doing a good job in Minnesota.
No, he was not.
It was not. I'm just saying.
That's why they made that trade.
And then because of IKF trade, because of shortstop you needed, but you said you promised Urshela you'll be the shortstop for the Yankees 2 days before that.
Yep.
No, Urshela was pissed.
I agree with that. Jumping back with the trades with the Padres though, and why this is ridiculous with the Padres. Here, they've already made 3 trades that you could say were absolutely terrible. Here's a 4th, in my opinion. You got Juan Soto. Woohoo. He's been doing decent. He's been doing good for them. But he's not killing it. He's not carrying the team on his back, and you can't do that in baseball anyhow. He's a free agent after this year, so trying to sign him or sign Ohtani, it's not going to work.
No,
I don't think he's going to sign with them, especially because now you sign Bogarts, you sign Tatis, you sign Darvish, you sign Joe Musgrove, you sign all these players, Manny Machado. You don't have money.
No,
they don't have the money anymore.
No,
and this is a trade where you look back and you're like, what were they thinking?
But
you got Soto, you got Bell. Bell is now in Cleveland. They only got Bell for half a year. They give up Mackenzie Gore. He's been doing good. C.J. Abrams. He's been doing good. Robert Hassel, I believe he is still in the AAA. James Wood is still in the minors. Jarlin Susanna is a pitcher still in the minors, and then Luke Voigt. I mean, right there, Abrams and Gore were two major prospects in MLB system ranking, and they just killed it. And then this one, this just looks bad in its own sense. You got Cameron Gallagher, who now Cleveland has in 2022. They got Cameron Gallagher that we signed him as a free agent, and he gave up Brent Rooker. Brent Rooker's killing it. I mean, this is, and then the last year. I mean, this year they haven't done anything trade wise.
Of course, they cannot make trades anymore after they made that trade for Juan Soto. Right now, Juan Soto, I think he's gonna regret not signing a deal with the Nationals.
I do. He got greedy. He wanted what? $400 million.
50. What they offered him $450 million,
and he wanted $500 million.
500.
And there's only one player that'll get $500 million or more.
Ohtani.
Yes,
or more.
Yeah, or more. So just looking at that, I mean, this is just absolutely terrible for these teams and how their general managers operated. I get that you were trying to clear farmhouse and farm system, and you were trying to make your team better, and I get that's the ultimate goal is to always make your team better. But for you to get rid of so many players like that, and then turn around and have it into a situation where now you sign 5 or 6 players, and it turns into you literally not having money to spend now. You are literally looking at trading players now. This, in my opinion, and you might not feel the same way I do about it, I know the Padres are sellers at the deadline. There's
they will
no
be.
doubt about it. And if they're not sellers at the deadline, the GM needs to be fired immediately.
But yeah, he will be a sellers, and this other team will be a sellers, the New York Mets.
They'll be a seller. I honestly think that the Yankees will be sellers. I don't think that they're going to have to figure something out here. They're going to. I have a feeling they're going to try to get rid of how do I say it? What's the one left fielder you guys got?
Cabrera. Oswaldo Cabrera.
Not Oswaldo. Oh, wait, yeah. Oswaldo Cabrera. I think you're going to be looking at getting rid of Peraza as well, your other shortstop in the minors.
No. There was Reva Gleyber Torres, what I heard. Because they want to put Peraza as second base.
Okay. So, I mean, you're going to be selling, I think. I think you're going to be selling this year. I think you're going to see what you have in farm talent, which is what I've been telling you guys needed to do for years.
I agree with you.
And you never freaking listen to me.
I agree with you.
You always argued with me on it. Now you want to fucking agree?
No, but I'm just saying that the fact is,
it's frustrating.
It continues every year. Like, and the fact is, when the Yankees went to the surprise playoffs in 2017,
as 2 years
the baby
after
Bronx Bombers,
yeah,
and I'm sorry, you got Luis Severino, Sonny Gray, CC Sabathia, Tanaka. There was only one veteran pitcher. Only CC Sabathia was a veteran pitcher in there.
Yep.
And everybody else was like kind of rookie, not signing great, but
so they had some experience or none
you
at
should
all.
trade for Justin Verlander in after that offseason and just not thinking about freaking Giancarlo Stanton. I know he was the MVP on the National League or whatever it was. Only 1 year was doing a good job so far. 1 year. 1 year was doing a good job. And then you just, because they don't want too many prospects, only starting Castro and something because the Marlins can't afford Giancarlo, and then you just pull the trigger. But at the same time, look at right now. If that trade is good for you, Yankees, you should get trade for Justin Verlander that he got 2 Cy Youngs when he was with the Astros. 2 Cy Youngs with the Astros. And it was not extremely bad trade for the Tigers or the Astros.
No.
And look at Garrett Cole, trade for the Astros. The Pirates won Clint Frazier. Clint Frazier. When you have Florio, when you have all the prospects of the outfield, but you want to keep Clint Frazier. And, Miguel Andujar was another one. They're asking for Miguel Andujar in a different trade. And where's Miguel Andujar right now? He got DFA by the Pirates. The Yankees release him. Not release him, was a little bit trade or something, but it was not a good trade.
No.
And he got DFA by the Pirates, but nobody picked it up.
So, just all around, just bad moves by these GMs. They're the ones that we had to pick, or that we chose to pick, just because, one, you're a fan, you know what it's like to struggle now, and it sucks. Trust me, it does. Watching my team go years without any good seasons. I mean,
No.
in New York, in LA, that's not acceptable.
No,
That's
it's not.
In big markets, it's not acceptable.
It's
so,
not.
think-
It's just like a home run or nothing. That's why all these trades.
Exactly. And that's what I told you the other thing was as well, is that you and the Yankees need to understand this. As fans of the Yankees, you guys need to understand this. Your team is home run or bust.
Yeah.
If you're not hitting home runs, there's a good chance you're not winning
Look
games.
at the June stats. Do you check the June stats from June 1st to June 30th? OPS, last in the league. Last. Team average, last.
They gotta
That's
figure it
a
out.
horrible, and the excuse, because Aaron Judge is hurt. Let me tell you, Judge is not only player that can make up for the team. Yeah. Everybody needs to step up. Everybody needs to step up. There's no excuses whatsoever when you have a couple years for the same issues of the freaking offense, and you continue struggling this year.
They got to figure it out. These two teams need to figure it out at the end of the All-Star break. All-Star break is at the end of this week. This is the last week of baseball for the All-Star break. We'll come back and hopefully have some better news than this for these teams, because they have just been absolute disappointments the last couple years when it comes to trades, when it comes to playing. Yes, they made both these teams have made the playoffs. They tend to not go farther than the first or second round every year. They can't get past it.
No, they just
one time they made it to the ALCS, and that was about it for the Yankees. Padres haven't even made it to the NLCS.
Well, the Padres, they did last year with the Phillies.
Oh yeah, that was the last time and then.
But they got swept, correct?
Yeah, but how do you do that and then come around and play this crap?
Yeah, I agree.
They're playing terrible.
I agree. One of the worst.
But. All right, well, that's our 4th of July podcast.
Oh, my God. Fireworks.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Let them explode. Did you get all that out now? Are we good? I sure hope so.
On to the trade deadline.
Oh, God. All right, well, we'll circle back to that when that happens, all right?
I hope so.
But, again, you guys have a great 4th of July. Make sure you stay safe.
Be safe, please.
Please make sure that you like and subscribe this. It helps us go a
long way. And
follow
us.
Follow us on Twitter. I'll drop the link now. Our host podcast and our Inside Stadium podcast is on there. Other than that, you guys have a good rest of your weekend. Enjoy.
And take care.